On here yet, and we are on air, I guess. Yes, we are on air. We are on air. How's everybody doing? Oh, let me go ahead and adjust this real quick. All right, I got a special guest on here right now, very special guest, and y'all in for a treat. You know, this is thick skin only, so we look. We gonna say what's ever on our mind. We gonna say what's real over here, you know. And I always said this to people before I start my stream. I said, if you don't like what I'm saying, you know my motto: get the hell off my feed. Get off there. You can unsubscribe me. I won't be mad because I'm a very unapologetic person. Because why apologize for something you're gonna do again?
Right.
What's going on? We got Derrick G in the house, man. I want you to say the last name. I always mess up people's last name.
It's Gradenigo. Gradenigo.
Gradenigo. Oh, that sounds easy. Gradenigo. I'm gonna call you Gradenigo. I like that.
Right. I'm checking you on the live stream now, on the live chat. I can see you on there.
All right. Hey, where you from? Let everybody know what you do and where you from. I mean, just tell everybody about yourself.
Well, basically, I was born in Oakland, California. So I was a West Coast kid till I was like about 12, 13, and then we moved to Houston, Texas. So I spent a lot of time. I like to consider myself like a West Coast Southern kid. You know what I mean? So got those values in the South, values from the West, came up, and you know, my only thing is now I'm basically out of Florida. So I'm in Texas and Florida now. So now I'm getting that East Coast experience as well, at least on the southern version, the good version on the East Coast in Florida, where you could still walk around with a gun like you're in Texas. You know?
Right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm just man. Woo, it's good. You know what? First of all, it's good to see people of color. No, it's good to see people that's woken up, but it's good to see people of color waking up because I'm based on experience of what I see, out here because I live in the ghetto. I live where drive-by shootings at, and so for me to see, you know, people of color, people of the so-called minority, because we all not a minority. I'm just saying that's out here just risking their lives, putting in work right here. You know, they don't know about us sitting here doing a video right now. we put ourselves out there.
Right.
You know, and I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you too, man. You know, I think the crazy part about it is a lot of people don't understand. They think that people like the thing is they want to be like, oh, you're so brave for this. You're so brave for doing that. One of the main reasons that I'm basically doing what I do in this situation is because I've always been raised with a hyper sense of Americana. You know, remember back when we were in social studies class and they told you that America was this and America was great and America was that? We never really saw none of that. Like growing up, I was kind of like, man, I hear all this, but I'm not seeing it out in the public. And the crazy part is I never joined the military. I never was part of that, but I always wanted to feel like I wanted to serve my country. So up until about 3-4 years ago, that was always a void in my life. You know what I mean? That was always a void. And for me, when President Trump came about, it was a situation where, did I lose you? I lost your camera, I think.
No, you didn't lose me. I took it off. Go ahead.
Okay. When President Trump came about, it was a situation for me to kind of get involved and say, I never joined the military, but this could be part of the war I fight. And I felt like God had prepared me through my debate skills in Texas, being a former debate champion, and different avenues that I could come out and just basically try to eliminate the Democratic Party. A lot of people had these wonderful walkaway stories and all this good stuff about walkaway. I never really was part of the Democratic Party. I never really kind of was part of the Republican Party either. I kind of always was like a rogue agent of sorts, an Achilles, I fight for no army, Tupac Shakur type, you know. And so being in that avenue, I was always watching the hood, like the hood you're talking about. I was always watching the hood. I was born in Oakland, watching the hood in California, watching the hood in Texas and Ward, and saying to myself, what's going on with these brothers and how can we change it? And like you said, I started to see that brainwash mechanism. that was being instilled into the brothers and sisters in the hood. Not just that, the brothers and sisters in the barrio and the white brothers and sisters in the trailer park. It was the same system they were setting up. It was like, I give you a little cornbread, but I won't tell you how to make the cornbread, you know? And I was like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. But to be totally honest, Maurice, it was like a dude who sits back and there's nothing I could do about it, but you know the answer. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm sitting back, there's nothing I could do about it. So I just live in this existence knowing the problem, but I can't do nothing because it's too big of a monster to fight. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this dude named Donald Trump shows up. And Donald Trump shows up, and he basically is like, I'm about to throw a wrecking ball into the building, and whoever could slide in after me has an avenue to go pull whatever maneuver they need to maneuver. And that's kind of where we all jumped in. And it was funny because I didn't know you. I didn't know Will Johnson. I didn't know Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, all these other people that are out here now, Terrence Williams. But now I do. And it's weird, Kyle. None of us really knew each other, but we knew each other. And then when we met up, it was family. When we met up, it was like, oh, you good, you good, you good. Because there's a certain camaraderie when you go to war. Like when you go to war with somebody, there's a certain camaraderie. It's like, oh, I see this dude. He's fighting a war in Chicago. This dude's fighting a war in Texas. That Candace is over here fighting this war down in LA. Brandon Tatum is fighting a war in Phoenix. And then all of a sudden, when y'all come together, it's basically like, oh, snap. Like, we family. This is crew.
Right.
And so I think people look at it and they say, oh, you guys are putting your lives on the line. God bless you. But the reality is, I feel like people like me and you, we don't really have a choice because God has kind of been like, look, bro, this is what you're going to do. Like this, look, I'm not really giving you a choice. I'm going to put it on your heart. And if you don't fight, I'm coming for you. Like God has been like, I'm going to torment you until you go fight because this is what I put you here for.
Yes. They're targeting us, bro.
Yeah.
They are targeting us, and people think I'm negative when I say this. Like Tony X said when he was on Brigade Channel the other day. He said, and I said that. I said this. Then what? They probably gonna kill me. I said they probably gonna kill me. But guess what? I would die fighting.
Well, look. First of all, the ironic you say that, because I want you to get this mental image. All right. I'm walking, freezing cold, leaving the White House, me and Tony X. We're walking down the block. Tony X tells me, hey, the same thing you just said. I think they're going to blah, blah. I'm like, bruh, don't even say it because I don't call stuff like that into existence. I really don't because I'm a Christian. I was born and raised Catholic. I've been to the Pope's house 3 times, bro. I believe thoughts become actions. So at the end of the day, part of the reason why I believe a lot of people are assassinated is because they continue to say they're going to be assassinated. So I go out of my way to be like, you know what? I'm about to pull this off with Trump, and I'm gonna be alive at the end, and laughing, and drinking a cold Coke 45 like Billy D. Williams. You know what I mean? Like, so we do it too much. That's what I'm calling into existence.
Call it existence. You know what?
Call into existence.
I take rebukes.
Right.
I take it. Jesus had to rebuke Peter, right?
Oh, 100%. Jesus had to rebuke a lot of people. Listen, Jesus had to rebuke a lot of people. And that's what I try to tell the African-American community right now. If there's so many lessons that I want to teach the African-American community that they already know, they're just not implementing. Here's my issue. My issue is this. How come the Caucasian community can make a mistake and we still hold them to a standard to where I could listen to them? But if an African-American person does something or says something that you find wrong, all of a sudden you are now banned from ever listening to them again. For instance, take Umar Johnson, for instance. Umar Johnson has stuff to say about mixed race people. Like some of the stuff I do not agree with.
Right.
But he does say some stuff that's cold, and I like and I appreciate it. Like when he talks about the feminist movement has hijacked the civil rights movement, and people aren't peeping it, but these feminists are jumping in saying, we're down with black people. We're down with black people. By the way, give us some love before you give them love. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. You just jumped in a 250-year struggle because of your struggle with your man. That don't have nothing to do. This has to struggle for a whole people. And Umar Johnson talks about that. So I listen, according to the way they have the black community set up, if I disagree with one thing Umar Johnson says, I'm supposed to throw him out the window. I see it all the time on my page. People are like, Derrick, I love you. Derrick, I love you. Derrick Gradenigo is so cool. And I throw one little monkey wrench post out there, and all of a sudden people want to come and be like, you changed. I'm unfollowing you. I'm unfollowing you. And it's like, nah, bro, you got to peep game. At the end of the day, I may be throwing this post out here just to see how real you are. I may be throwing this post out here because I don't need snowflakes. I may be throwing this post out here just because I want to see if you are really worshiping me as an idol or you're worshiping the movement and you're pushing the movement. I don't need you worshiping me. I don't need any converts. I worship Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get you to come to the church of Derrick. I want you to disagree with me, but I want you to disagree respectfully. Now, if you come on here cussing and doing all this other stuff, I'm going to just block you. It's that simple. But if you come on and you respect, like Martin, there was an episode of Martin when he had the talk show, and he was like, respect the host. Respect the host. So if you want to beef amongst my page, beef on my page. But when you start getting on me too, you got to understand the block bullet. My block bullet finger is quick. And like, I don't care, because you get people, and you may understand this, man. I don't want to block people. I really don't. I don't want to. But if you come into the page disrespectful and you come into the thing disrespectful, and people be like, well, it's my American right. It is your American right. And as the moderator, it's my American right to go ahead and shun you off the page. Because there's certain people here and there's a movement going on. And my page is not to cater to you. My page is to cater to the campaign, the movement, the freedom of America, and whatever that takes and whatever that entails. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, Booker T. Washington. My page is to cater to that, not to cater to you and what you think my page is supposed to be.
Yes. You know, it's your page. You created it. You made up the email. You made up the password. They didn't come up with the email, the password. So,
right. No, and not just that. People want to see something. They want to see what they want to see. They come to your page because they want to see Maurice Delp. They go to Candace Owens because they want to see Candace Owens. They go to Brandon Tatum because they want to see Brandon. They don't come here so they can see your comment. And the ironic part is the people who are the most aggravating and the most kind of wild with the comments are people who usually only have like 4 followers. They got a picture of SpongeBob as their profile picture or something like that. And then they come in and start causing mess. So we already know what that's about. That's troll fever. And nobody has time for that.
But I you know what I always let the trolls know, be honest with you. I always let the trolls know that you bad. I feel you bad, but I'm better. I will troll you trolls and for real, I have trolled the trolls, and like I can watch a troll because I troll them. I have people watch that.
Right.
When you come on there, we know it's a troll because we troll the trolls. They come on there, they think they being slick. And right away, that's a troll.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I just got tired of it. I got tired of it. I used to look, man, back when this whole Trump thing first started and I was just on Facebook, I used to have time for all of them. Like I would come in and I would be like, oh yeah, let's get it on, let's get it popping. Now I don't even acknowledge you. I'm just like, bro, this is whack. Like I'm not even, you getting blocked or somebody else is gonna take you out. And now it's to the point where I have so many devoted soldiers on the page that if they're kind of waiting for a troll to pop up so they can take out their energy and the bad day at work on them, like or something. And I'll be like, like piranhas, you know. So, but I want to get into with you about something, man. I've been trying to tell people the culminating thing. A lot of people are like, when did a lot of you first meet up? When did a lot of you see each other? When did a lot of you start to know? And I was talking about YBLS,
Okay.
and I wanted your perspective as to the state, almost a year now, it's been October, the state of this whole Black influencer movement that we're trying to do. And what have you seen in the last year?
I've seen a lot of it like turned into circus.
Right.
I've seen a lot of it turned into circus, and you got conservatives coming, Black conservatives tearing down Black conservatives, and I've been watching this like, oh snap! It had turned into like a turmoil. It's like this, like come on, come on. I remember in 2016 when everybody hugged each other. Oh, Trump won! Trump won! Remember, we was all cool and we was all happy. We was emotional because it was a time we felt like we belonged to something. We felt like we had the victory, which we did, and that went out the door. I think ego got in the way with all that stuff. I think it's ego. I got caught up into it, and I can admit that. So, but I'm just saying it has turned into that. It turned into ego tripping.
Right. So, for me, look, man, this is what's ironic because I have 2 degrees in behavioral science, right? And so I'm trained to peak game before it happens. I can see the end goal, the end train at the end station, and see what it's going to take to get there, which is why it bothered me so much. And it still bothers me to see these supposed Black conservatives attacking other Black conservatives because we are already outnumbered, like in a crazy way. Yes. So it's almost like if you've seen the movie Django, where Leonardo DiCaprio has the 2 Black dudes fighting each other. You know what I mean? And it's basically, yeah. It's basically like in this situation, I'm hearing people like, and I'm sure people who are online can attest to this, or people who are watching. Like, for you to be a Black dude or Black woman attacking Candace Owens right now makes no sense to me. Like, it makes absolutely, positively no sense unless Candace Owens has pulled up on you with a 9 Glock and shot out the window, which hasn't happened. So for these Black conservatives to be attacking Candace Owens, to be attacking or mad at Brandon Tatum or David Harris, it shows me one of 2 things. 1, you're either not really who you say you are, or 2, you are actually a mole working for the Clintons and the Democratic Party. Cool. Because, again, when we talk about math and facts, and people are like, I don't like Candace Owens, she shouldn't be leading this new movement. And when we talk about the new movement, we talk about whether it's me, you, the rest of the influencers, Terrence Williams, all this. Candace is not winning by election. She's winning because she's put up the most numbers. When you have results, you are the king. Period. In this situation, Candace has the most followers. Candace has been on TMZ. Yes. Candace has been in the White House talking to the president. Candace just testified before Congress. So at the end of the day, she's winning. She's winning. You should want to attach your train to somebody who's winning.
Thank you.
My question is to these people who are like, Candace needs to leave. She needs to bounce. She needs to go. Who are you replacing her with then? Because if you're not replacing her with anybody, you know what you sound like? You sound like these Django Blacks and these Democrats who are like, well, a pizza? I don't want to eat pizza. I don't want to eat pizza. Well, there's nothing else to eat. I don't care. I don't want to eat pizza. I just want everybody to starve then. You have no plan because I guarantee you there's nobody out here right now that you can replace Candace with that's putting up more numbers, period. And all we're hearing is from establishment right hacks. Like a lot of these Black dudes, a lot of these Black dudes and Black females, they went to high-ranking colleges. You know what I'm saying? They may have went to HBCUs, and they come out and they like, you know what? We don't like Maurice. We don't like his style. He's a liability. He's too wild. We don't like Candace. She's too rough. She's liable to jump and she's liable to cuss somebody out on TV. You know what? We like it better our way, where it's more refined. Yes. We're more of the upper echelon Black. We're more of the you know what I mean? The high-ranking Black. And to me, it's like this. It's like, okay, you want to do that? You want to do that upper crust? How many elections y'all winning? Who knows your name, bruh? I tried to ask these dudes the other day. I said, you name me one Black female or a male congressman or someone in state Congress or whatever in between the ages of 30 and 40 that has a following. They can't name one. They can't name one because at the end of the day, they have no following. Oh, well, following's not necessary. We don't need a following. Why? Y'all losing. Y'all lost the last election. Everybody y'all tried to back.
Yeah.
Black lost. So right now, you have a situation where you could jump on and say, well, Maurice, you know, I want you to bring your followers and follow me. We about to go do these events. Candace, Brandon, David, Derrick, we want y'all to follow me. We represent 1 million people strong, and that's not even trying. These people should be utilizing us. And they're basically mad. And the reason they're mad is because they're like, look, man, we've been doing this for 10 years straight with no results. How are these people gonna pop up and within a year, bro, within 1 year, start controlling the whole system? Start having all these people want to pump money into them and back them and take them to the RNC and have them do separate movements like Blexit and Lexit and all these other movements. And so we have to be cognizant of that. And we have to say, look, we have to address these people face on and say, look, I know you African-American. I know you say you on the right. I know you say you with Trump, but you're not acting like it, bro. And we're going to call you out right now.
Yes.
We're gonna call you out because all this, I'm getting tired of seeing this in my feed, bro. I'm getting tired of seeing black folks doing these, they're on the right, but they're like, oh, let me tell you something about Candace Owens. Let me tell you something about Charlie Kirk, and let me tell you something about whatever. See, bro, I don't know how you was raised, but this is how I was raised, bro. I was raised, my dad is from the country, right? Turning Point USA got me in the White House. So until Turning Point USA does me wrong, I still got love for Turning Point USA. I can't cut them. I cannot cut them, bro. That is not logical because that is a philosophy that has black folks fighting each other for 200 years. When somebody does something for you, what have you done for me lately? And if they haven't done anything in the last month, chop their neck off. I can't do that because guess what? Somebody gonna chop my neck in a month if I live my life like that. So right now, when I look at a Candace, if it wasn't for Candace Owens, I wouldn't have got to the White House. If it wasn't for Brandon Tatum, I wouldn't have got to the White House. If it wasn't for David Harris, I wouldn't have got to the White House the last time. If it wasn't for Charlie Kirk and Turning Point, I would have never got to Mar-a-Lago or the White House.
And you know what I love about Brandon Tatum? He's a guy that interact with everybody. You ain't got to be this big personality. He interacts with everybody.
Right.
He ain't too hard to find. Yeah, you don't get it twisted.
The crazy part about Brandon Tatum is he reminds me a lot of he's very much, how do I say, he doesn't know his own strength. Let's put it that way. There's something that's considered like a very humble, powerful person.
Yeah.
I'm constantly trying to tell him about the power he has, and he's so humble he doesn't really realize it. And I'm like,
he doesn't realize that.
I'm like, bro, you have a lot of power. People listen to you. You need to take a bigger step in this situation and go even harder. And he's like, I'm already going hard. I'm like, nah, bro, you have the capability to really, really do something big because your following is insane.
Yes.
And he, like I said, it's awesome because that's the type of person you want. You want that kind of person who's not really hungry for power, you know.
And we need somebody like him in office.
We need somebody. Now, look, dude, we need somebody like everybody in office.
Everybody.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something honest. I'm gonna be honest from the bottom of my heart. We need a Brandon Tatum in office. We need a David Harris in office. We need a you in office. We need everybody.
They don't want me in office.
No, listen. I said the same thing. They don't want me either. I'm like
everybody out.
No, I'm the Black Roger Stone. That's what they call me in the state. The Black Roger Stone. I'm the dirty trickster. Like, that's me. I'm the dirty trickster. Like, I don't want to be on the overground. I got too many Vegas skeletons to be overground. I'm like Roger Stone. He says, I love, it's too much going on to put me in office. I'd rather be making moves, but we need people. Listen, Tony X. We need people like Tony X. Let me tell you why. A lot of people don't understand this. And I've heard this a lot. People like Tony X who've done time in the pen may have a neck tat or something like this that people normally would optimally say, oh, the optics are bad. Who do you think the hood is going to respond to? The hood doesn't respond to no damn Bill Cosby looking Heathcliff Huxtable with pudding pops in a sweater. They respond to somebody that they figure keep it real. This dude came straight out he's in the barbershop weekly, bro. He's in the barbershop in NYC. He's talking to the people. He's telling them facts, and he's been behind enclosed in the same bars that we're trying to get people out of the prison reform package. Yep. So how can that not be an optimal choice to promote? And again, we have to be very careful of getting hijacked. Because right now, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. When President Trump got elected, people like Paul Ryan and these establishment Republicans, they were kind of like, oh, yeah, we did it. And let's do our thing. And like people were like, nah, bro, you tripping. If it was up to the establishment, right, they would have got destroyed by Hillary Clinton. John Kasich would have got destroyed. Ted Cruz would have got destroyed. But Trump won doing Trump life. So right now, don't try to come in on the winning side and say, let's do our way, because your way didn't work. Now it's the same thing with the black community. The black community has to stay steadstrong and say, okay, Candace Owens came out and started eviscerating people. Kanye West noticed, it started to blow up. Now you got people like David Harris, you, me, coming out just eviscerating people on camera. And it's working because people are like, oh my God, who are these new conservatives that are bringing guns to a gunfight? Because we've been bringing knives to a gunfight for 20 years, and this is working. But now you're starting to see those establishment black Republicans come in and be like, oh yeah, we need to tone it down. We need to be more professional. We need to be
come on.
Yeah, and it's basically like, nah, bro, that didn't work. If it would have worked, y'all would have been in office 20 years ago. Y'all still campaigning. Listen, bro, I'm hearing establishment black Republicans talking about we need to go knock on more doors. Knock on more doors for what? We need to go talk. This ain't 1955. We could touch 100,000 people in one tweet. And y'all still doing it. Y'all are doing stuff that's written in a playbook that's retired 15, 30 years ago, bro.
Now, man. Come on.
And so now y'all have to assimilate to the new culture. And the new culture is get on the train and we will feed every man, woman, and child in America. But if y'all don't want to get on this train, it's basically like we're gonna have to address you. And if we address you and you trying to salt Candace, you trying to salt whoever, you trying to salt Tony X or any of us, then it's like you're not with us then. You're not with the crew. And we have to assume as such. And then things have, it's like, okay, well, you're not with us. You're against us.
You're on point, bro. They're not with us. Because, wait, man. We have to get it together. We have to get it together in this movement. We have to. 2020 is next year.
2020 is next year, bro. And you're not even exaggerating. It's so quick around the corner. By the time Christmas gets here, it's going to be on and popping. And people, like I said, right now, people have their own movements going on. I think it's dope. Every single person that starts a new movement, starts a new venture. I know, like I said, Candace has something. Brandon has something. Everybody, I'm thinking about election. Everybody gonna have something popping, and everybody needs to have something popping because that does is it creates more of an avalanche to hit people with from all angles. We don't need to have all our eggs in one basket. In other words, we need to have stuff going for the fly dudes. We need to have stuff going for the hood dudes, the hood chicks, the chicks with weaves, the chicks with their real hair. We need to have stuff going for every.
The Dashikas and the Beckys.
And
all that,
Yeah, everything. The AKAs, the Deltas, the Sigma, all of them. We need to get them all. We need to have stuff going for everybody.
Hey, like lately, people can see my platform. Look at the last 20 videos I did. I have pro-black people on here. I have pro-abortion people on here, and on my channel. Everybody's welcome on my channel, and I've been listening because it's to get people to wake up. Because you believe it or not, a lot of people in the black community are not Trump triggered.
Right.
Trump triggered. They don't suffer from Trump. I'm just saying because they don't even care. Black people don't even vote in the hood. They don't even care. I walk around like this in the ghetto where it's drive-by shootings. Milwaukee, Chicago. I'll be in Chicago talking to people. So they're not Trump triggered. Don't get it twisted, y'all.
Right.
But they need to walk away from that plantation.
Look, black folks in general are conservative by nature, bro. Like they church, they God fearing. They're conservative by nature. They're just black folks. Like a lot of people say, black folks are liberals who are conservatives, but really just haven't seen it yet. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like once you explain it to them, a lot of times they get it, and they're kind of like, okay, like right now, the black community they're attempting everything they can to Trump trigger them. They're attempting everything they can. And again, I have to explain to black people all the time, here's the situation. They keep talking about this Central Park 5 like nonsense where it's like, oh, Donald Trump put an ad in the paper. Donald Trump did this. This dude was a private citizen. He felt the dudes did it, put an ad in the paper. What does that got to do with black folks in 2019? Let me ask black Americans a question. Who shot Nipsey Hussle? It wasn't a white man. Like, let me ask you a question. This little girl, Malia or whatever down in Houston, the 4-year-old, who killed her? Wasn't a white man. Who killed Malcolm? Wasn't a white man. At the end of the day, we have to start looking and saying they are playing us. We have to start policing our own. Policing, and what that does is looking within. Look, it sounds crazy, but I'm still on my Michael Jackson, bro. Like at the end of the day, I'll be like, look, it's very simple. He told you, look at the man in the mirror, bro. You want to notice the problem? Look at the man in the mirror. Michael Jackson is telling you that. What is Tupac Shakur saying? They telling me it's the white man I should fear, but it's my own kind doing all the killing here, bro. Like he is telling you. He's not saying white man's killing, white man's killing. Like at the end of the day, and people will say, well, why you bringing up family business there? That's black folk family business. Because at the end of the day, until you address it and recognize it, you cannot fix it. They are trying to get you to continue to put Band-Aids on bullet wounds. Yes. So you don't fix this situation.
Oh, you said Band-Aids on bullet wounds.
Exactly. They are trying to get them to put Band-Aids on bullet wounds. And right now, the black community is falling hook, line, and sinker. They're falling hook, line, and sinker. But I will say this. The black community is becoming more woke the more that we are out here, bro. I honestly think, because a lot of times people say, oh, you shouldn't take credit for this, you shouldn't take credit for that. It's biblical not to take credit. At the end of the day, it's also biblical to provide a good example. So I'm going to promote people when I can. And I will say this, for the influencers that I've seen around in the last year, the influencers that I've met, hung out with, whether that's Candace, Charlie, Brandon, Rob Smith, David Harris, you, Will Johnson, myself, I think in the years to come, bro, because you never notice anything in the moment.
Right, you don't.
In the years to come, people will be like, bro, these people were the catalyst that really changed things. Because whether or not people want to know it, I've had a man come up to me, man. A white man from Idaho. He told me, I've never hung around black people. Not that I don't want to. Listen to this.
I know what you're going to talk about. Go ahead.
But I live in a rural town with no black people. So the only black people I know are watching Will Smith, watching The Cosby Show. And he said, I will be totally honest with you, Derrick. If it wasn't for watching your videos and Terrence Williams, he said, if it wasn't for watching your videos and Terrence Williams, I would think that every black person in America hated me because of what I'm seeing on the news. And they're telling me this. And I started thinking to myself, bruh, right now, we are more important than ever because it's true. Think about Kansas. Think about Wyoming. Think about a lot of places in West Virginia. Think about a lot of places in North Dakota and South Dakota. Not that they don't want to have black people there. They just don't. And when they don't, and you have white America watching TV, what are they supposed to believe when the media is telling them 24 hours a day that black people hate you? The only thing that's saving them from believing it is seeing that there's people like us out here that are like, hey, wait, this is all a big lie. And they're like, oh, damn, okay, But if we weren't there, if we weren't around, it may not work after 4 months or 8 months, but what about after a year straight of hearing the black people hate you? Or 2 years straight? They may sit here and be like, you know what, I'm buying in.
Right.
But they won't buy in because they sit here and they're like, I just watched this girl, Candace Owens, eviscerate this dude from California in Congress. So what they're telling me about all black people hate me is false. And it's just like that, bro. People won't look at the importance now. But years from now, bro, I'm telling you, years from now, people will be like, if it wasn't for this group of people that were providing an opposite message to the media, a lot of Caucasian America might have got caught up in this race war. A lot of Caucasian America might have been fooled into doing what they were trying to program Caucasian America to do.
Look, the liberal white guilt, they influence the young kids to feel bad about cutting Kunta Kinte's foot off, chopping off half of the foot. So you got the white liberal, they're so guilty of that because they have watched Roots. Go ahead, bro, because this is what I'm just saying, because they have watched Roots.
Mm-hmm.
They're guilty because of Hollywood. Next.
Look, man, at the end of the day, anybody in life that you give a chance to make an excuse is going to make an excuse. I don't care if you're 5 years old or 10 years old or 15 years old. If you say that the devil made me do it and let somebody get away with it, they're going to continue to do it. And right now, the black community, like a lot of white liberals, are allowing the black community to say, well, I can't be as successful because of slavery. Here's the funny part again, when I talk about breaking on my page, like I said, on my Instagram page mostly, because Facebook too, my Instagram, Facebook, a lot of what I do is break people down in the actual common sense portion of this.
Break it down.
Yeah, my question to Black America would be this. If you can't do anything because of slavery and you're a descendant of slaves, here's my question. Do you also not understand that it was the black men and women, the kings in Africa, that sold those slaves? So let me explain something to you. Unless you've done your genealogy, you have a 50% chance that you're actually the oppressor in this situation, and you're one of the descendants of the people that sold these people into slavery. So actually, you have no argument at all. And for the people that are still here, that say, oh, well, I'm related to black folks and I've been here since 1700. So am I. But guess what? In New Orleans, they had more black slave owners by percentage than white. People don't talk about it. They're called FPCs, free people of color. But here's the funny part. You'll never hear that on the news. But there's more black slave owners than white. So again, you are technically descendant of the oppressor, not the oppressor. And black folks have been given a hook, line, and sinker line to say, I can't be great. I can't be successful. I can't be this because the white man has kept me down. The white man has kept me down. That's why I'm on welfare. The ironic part again, there's more white people on welfare in America than black.
Thank you.
So here's the most, again, Black America, you are being bamboozled. That's the bad news. Here's the good news, though. The good news is, though, the gates are down. And when this time when the gates are down, you're not going to get shot running off. I understand why black people were scared, because somebody running around talking like me right now, or talking like Mo, or talking like Candace, we would have been silenced about a year ago in the normal presidency. But see, President Trump isn't part of the swamp. He's part of the establishment that wants to return America back to the way George Washington gave the country to the people. And so right now, it's almost like that thing where you put your hand on a hot stove and it's hot. Black folks don't want to put their hand back on that stove because they like, I know it's hot, but it's not hot. So they can actually get away with it. So right now they looking at me. I get people all the time. They look at me and they're like, hey, man. Like black folks would be like, oh, you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. And I'll say something. They'll be like, hey, man, you ain't scared to say that, man? You ain't scared, man? They're going to come get you. It's like, bro, look, I'm good. I'm good regardless because I'm doing Jesus's work. And at the end of the day, I know who the president is. And I know that all these little factions that people talk about when they talk about the CIA, FBI, all that, Guess what they doing right now? They ain't worried about me. You know why? Because they too busy worried that their shit is about to get put in the light by President Trump. They consumed with him, so they don't have time to be worried about me. So before, it would be a situation where they would be like, all right, we got this guy Maurice Delk on the radar. Let's go ahead and watch him. They don't have time to watch Maurice right now because they like, hey, look, they said Donald Trump's supposed to drop our stuff next week. We need to worry about him. So what does that do for Maurice? It gives him a clear path where he didn't have before to run to the finish line. Right. So right now, we're in a situation where all of us need to go full throttle. We need to go full throttle to the wall, run as fast as we can to the finish line, run as fast as we can to the touchdown, to the end zone, and do what we need to do, and not have no fear, none of that nonsense about, oh, well, this and then blah, blah, blah. I'm not even putting any life into all that fear, because I've told people a million times, when you look at life and you're biblical and you're Christian, the biggest hang up that people ever had, even when it came to dealing with Jesus, was fear, bro. When Peter denied Jesus, it was out of fear.
Fear.
Okay? It was out of fear, bro. When Judas did his thing, it was out of fear, bro.
Fear.
When Thomas doubted Jesus, it was out of fear that they were right. It's always fear. So that's why when I walk around here, I don't have no fear, no nothing. Look, when they had the first Blexit March, Candace was there. Candace gave a Blexit in LA. Me, David Harris, a girl named Fog City Midge, and I think Black Mike. It was 4 of us.
Yeah.
Okay? 4, bro. 4. That we were so charged up after the Blexit rally with Candace. It was so hype. We were like, man, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? Dude, they had a women's march in downtown LA that day. We decided to go to the women's march 4 deep against 3,000 people, bro.
Right.
When we got to the women's march, when we got there, David Harris was like, why don't we take this thing up a notch? Let me put on my Make America Great Again hat.
I wish I was there.
Bro, it was literally crazy. But what was crazy was we had a big, giant crowd around us, and we wound up just taking everybody out. By the end of it, we were the last people standing. People on this page may recognize, but there was a video that went viral out of that.
Look, I shared that video.
The video with it was a bald-headed skinhead girl who was trying to attack me.
That's a video I shared.
Attack me. Yeah, it's a bald-headed skinhead girl trying to attack. She had the infinity symbol tattooed on her head and everything.
I report on that video. I did a screen share on one on our YouTube channel.
For real?
Yeah, I talked about that.
Hey, look, it was crazy, man. It was mad crazy. But at the end of the day, because everybody's like, man, weren't you scared that girl looked like she was charging up on you? I was like, look, man, a normal, like I said, 4 or 5 years ago, I can't tell you I wouldn't have been scared. But right now, bro, like I'm so invested in patriotism right now. I'm so invested in all the stuff I learned about when I was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that I never saw in America. And now there's a chance to get it back. That I can. Here's the thing, man. I was telling somebody the other day, this thing is no longer politics. Like somebody was talking about 2020. This is no longer politics, bro. We're not going back.
What about 2024? Shit.
No. What I'm saying is we're not going back. Like I've told people this before when people say, okay, well, the way things go, so the masses keep things right. They let the Democrats do stuff for a little while, the Republicans, and then so by 2024, the Democrats should roll back in. And I tried to explain to them, I was like, you don't understand what's happening right now. What's happening right now is the conservatives that I know have finally revealed the racist and psychotic intentions of the Democratic Party towards every minority in America. There is no going back. There is no, we're going to let them have it. Nah, bro. Like, if this thing has to stay Republican or conservative for the next 50 years, it's going to stay there. I'm telling you, the people I know are like, no, this is not about a vote. Like, this is real. Like, we aren't letting them get back in office ever again.
Hold on, my troll is in the chat room.
No, I
got a troll. Actually, the troll is a good friend of mine. He's my moderator. So, but
okay, you got the troll.
He comes in debate with us all the time.
Oh, okay.
Like 2 times a week. He like to argue with us, and he crazy, But I love him. That's why I put him as my moderator because I trust him.
Right. No, it's all good. You gotta have those people to have your back, bro. Like you gotta have the people to have your back. You gotta have the people that show love, and that's gonna be down for you, especially in this type of light and this type of scenario. You gotta have, cool people and people that show love. And the funny part is, if you just continue to do you, you don't even have to look for them. They'll come find you because they're so motivated by you and what you're doing. Like that's one thing I found when I started going to DC and I was popping up, showing up in these videos and doing all this stuff with Candace, with the Blexit, is that people would just show up. They would just show up and be like, man, I can't believe you doing this. I can't believe you whatever. And it's like, yeah, man. I mean, don't sleep on your power too. And I tell people this all the time, like, and you may understand this better than a lot of people. I have people every day that talk about, I saw you with Charlie Kirk at the TTUSA thing. I saw you with Candace Owens at this thing.
Yeah.
I saw you with so-and-so. I wish that I could get involved and be like in an army and help. And I tell people all the time, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone can help. Because at the end of the day, I don't care. There's a lot of women. You may be at home right now with 5 kids. You can't move because you're somewhere in West Virginia. You got 5 kids, blah, blah. You want to be an army. You can help because you can make a Maurice Delk fan page right now. You can make a Derrick fan page right now and push it online. And that helps because it is pushing the media. It's pushing the train. It's pushing everything that way. You can get over here and be like, okay, I want to donate some money to Blexit or Turning Point, or I want to donate some money to the URC with Pastor Scott and Kareem. I want to donate money. That is pushing the train. If you can't, then I want to do a fan page for Pastor Scott, and I want to do a fan page for Pastor Mark Burns. That is helping. That's pushing. That's helping, and you are part of the army. Don't sit up here and say, "Hey, good job, Mo. Good job, Mo. Good luck, and I hope you do it. I hope you do it all right." And then hide. Like, nah, bro, we need you.
Hey, I gotta link you up with Lucretia Hughes, man. I don't know if you met. You probably met her, Lucretia Hughes. We gotta link up on a video together. Lucretia Hughes.
Okay.
For Liberty One TV. She's with Liberty One TV, and she got some, man. She doing her thing. And black lady, she
I think I've seen one of her videos.
She to walk away, Marla Lucretia Hughes. Yep.
I think I've seen one of her videos before, but I don't know how much longer we got left, but I do want to express something to you before we go.
Okay.
Which is that, again, with the beef, if you're out here right now and you're sitting here saying, hey, Derrick, I want to confide in you. I heard somebody beefing with Candace. I heard somebody beefing with Charlie Kirk. I heard somebody beefing with Turning Point. I heard somebody beefing with Tony X. I heard somebody beefing with different movements. Who do I trust? Who do I not trust? I'll sit here and tell you whoever. I don't have no enemies, bro. It doesn't behoove me to have enemies because that makes no sense because I'm already outnumbered. Yes. So right now, what I can tell you is if you hear anybody beefing with a conservative and they're basically trying to push you against a conservative with a large amount of people, I'm not down with that. And I don't think you should be either. That's how you tell the difference. If somebody's sitting up here talking about, oh, don't mess with Mo Delk. Well, Mo Delk got so many followers and he's pushing the Trump movement. So if y'all got a beef, why don't y'all call each other and handle it on the phone like men? No, just don't deal with him. Well, now I'm looking at you. You the reptile. You the reptile. Because right now you trying to mess up what we got going for Trump rather than handle it on the under. So that's how you tell the difference because a lot of people, hey, man, you don't need to deal with Candace anymore. You don't need to deal with Candace. I'm sorry, why don't I need to deal with Candace? Well, Candace is this and Candace is that. No, Candace is successful and she's pushing a train right now. And at the end of the day, getting rid of her, there's no replacement and there is no more train in that fashion. Well, you could lean on us. No one can lean on you because no one knows who the hell you are. No one knows your name. You've never been on TMZ. So understand, if these conservatives continue to attack people within other conservative movements, you need to check them, call them out, and be like, okay, so what is your beef? And if we can't handle your beef, maybe we need to call Mo Delk or we need to call Derrick so that he can facilitate some sort of peace treaty You know what I'm saying? Because right now, we don't need separate factions in the clique when we trying to push into 2020.
Look,
Like,
y'all. Everybody see this. Everybody know the beef that me and Henry Davis had. Henry Davis. Look, Candace on share the video. Henry Davis, he was doing some things right here, but we had back and forth beef. He went on Hotep talking about me. I talked about him. We made videos back and forth. When I met him down up in DC, now I met him before, but because we got each other's personal phone number, we realized this stuff is stupid, and let's move on. We hugged it out and we squashed it. Me and Henry Davis. I'm letting people know we squashed it because people were so loving the beef. We even did a video together to go ahead and argue with each other, and we couldn't even do it. Like, you know what? Forget this, man. The video is still on here, but we squashed it. I ain't deleting the videos. That video was funny.
Hey, that's dope. That's dope. Hey, look, man, that's real. That's what I'm trying to do across the board, though. That's what I'm trying to do across the board. Anybody that hears anybody having beef, can y'all know I'm not talking out of the side of my mouth, because everybody on this post knows they've seen different African-American conservatives or Latino conservatives who are beefing with other conservatives. And you're kind of like, bro, why are you attacking Charlie, or why are you attacking Candace, or why are you attacking Brandon Tatum? Why are you attacking this guy? And people are like, well, blah, blah. It's like, nah, bro, you don't attack people who are in leadership.
Right.
Unless they specifically pulled a gun on you or your mama or something, and that didn't happen.
You are right, brother. You're right.
If you just have some sort of beef or some sort of, he talked about me and I'm, whatever, then we need to squash that, because at the end of the day, it is about the movement for Trump. And if this person got 400, 500,000 followers, what you worried about splitting the faction up for? We need those 400,000 or 500,000 people. We need them. So I need y'all to start thinking politically and smart. Stop thinking like somewhere. And this is not Boys in the Hood. This is not Minister Society. And you trying to get converts over to your side and whatever. It's like, no, bro. This is about the movement. This is about what's right, and it's about putting a super team together. We need all the Avengers together. We need the Super Friends together. We need all these people to join and to push forward, because if they do, then we can't be stopped no matter what. And this is the ironic part. Again, the reason this is happening is because Black America has been given this generational curse of, even when they're doing something right, we want to eat our own. So it's like whoever's shining, it's like the black community, if it's been long enough, they're like, well, they've been shining too long. I need to get a little shine. It's like, I need some of that too. It's like, bro, fight that spirit. Pray that spirit off. Like, pray that spirit off. Get humble, and be like, look, you know what? If that person's in the league, if that person's a chief, I'm going to be a good Indian until it's time for me to be a chief. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to just be a good Indian, and we're gonna mash on everybody. Because trust me, there's enough room for everybody to eat. We are extremely outnumbered right now. Like, we are, when I tell you outnumbered, I don't know if there's ever been. This is like the movie 300 for real.
We're outnumbered, but Trump. Look, we was outnumbered, but Trump still won by a landslide. 2016.
No, but what I'm saying is we outnumbered as far as the Black conservatives, the Black right, the Black Trumpers. Like, compared to the entire 44 million blacks in America. Like, this is like, I'm telling you, this is like movie level outnumbered, but still winning. Like the stuff that we're doing, people don't even understand it right now. Like, they're basically like, how is this? And I'm not taking any credit for it, just like you shouldn't, or Kenneth. This is all God driven. Like, God is basically like, look, these are my people. I have them pushing this agenda.
Thank you.
And it's working. And people they're shocked, because they're like, damn, I thought that when T.I. or when this rapper said this, that they were all going to stop or get scared. I thought that they were all not going to go. Whenever they went to the White House and Al Sharpton came on TV, and Al Sharpton started saying that all these people that went to the White House with Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens were paid, and they all got checks. He had heard that we got paid. The people thought we were going to stand down. It was like, bro, we came on live video that night, bro, from the Trump, talking about, where's our checks? We ain't, who paid us? We didn't get paid. Where's the checks? These dudes came on TV lying, bro. We went to the White House. Al Sharpton came on TV lying, talking about, I have reason to believe they got paid to be there. They got checks.
Negro, please.
It's like, bro, we sitting in the Trump like, oh my God, this dude is gone completely mad. They're so desperate. They're so desperate because they know that it's appealing. We are appealing to the masses, and that's what they hate. They'll take a Ben Carson any day. They'll be like, okay, we'll deal with Ben Carson because they know at the end of the day, to the hood, they could walk up and punk Ben Carson. They could walk up. I love Ben Carson, but he's passive. And he's supposed to be. I mean, he's just who he is. Like, so they'll come up and be like, "Meet you, Ben Carson." And to the hood will be like, "Ah, Ben Carson got punked." Yeah. We were in the White House taking on Roland Martin, talking about his clothes, talking about his shoes, talking about it. And the hood was like, "Whoa, who are these cats?" And then the conservatives, the upper echelon conservatives, establishment, a lot of them were like, "Dude, who are these new dudes? This is fire right here," because we can't fight them this way, but they can. You know what I'm saying? And in a war, you need every type of soldier, and we're a certain type of soldier. We're a certain type of soldier, and we're probably more needed than anybody out right now. We're probably more needed because let me tell you, we already have the golf course conservatives. We got plenty of them. We got plenty of African American and white golf course conservatives. We got plenty of everything else, but the actual people who can walk into a room, the people who can walk into a room and immediately red pill somebody and talk about in a minority fashion, whether it's Black or Latino, we're needed, bro, bad. And people, like I said, people are going to remember everybody that was doing this. They're going to remember it, bro. Like, it's going to be crazy. Like, I think over time, like, it's like 10 years and people are going to have know everybody's name easily. They're going to be like, these people here. And it's just like what I was telling you earlier about the Caucasian community, how I told you, the dude said specifically, bro, and it shocked me because I know Candace has those people. I know you have those people because you're certain. He told me specifically, bro, that him and everybody in Idaho where he's at, there's no Black people. And the only interaction with Black folks they have is the Cosby Show and Will Smith. And that if it wasn't for our video seeing that there were actual African-American or mixed Americans who were saying they love Trump and that the left was lying, they would have got caught in this race war because they would have believed that every Black man hates them because of everything they were seeing. So I am telling you, if it wasn't for these videos, this YouTube, this stuff that we're doing, a lot of Caucasians in America would have got caught into this, bro. And it's not their fault. But at the end of the day, if you keep hearing Black people hate you over and over and over because the media keeps saying it and you have nothing to fight back, then I can't blame you for believing it after 2 years of listening to it straight. But thank goodness there are people like you, people like Candace, people like, the David Harris out there, that your videos gave them something to say, wait a second, because that's all it takes. All it takes is just like a judge and a jury of law. Something has to be unanimous. If it gave them that one pause, bro, like they saw a video of yours and they gave them one pause. It was like, Black folks hate me. Black folks hate me. You know what? I'm starting to believe Black folks. Wait a minute. Who is this dude on here? Right. Maybe Black folks don't hate me. Maybe I'm being lied to. That's all it took, bro. And that person should be, bro, I'm telling you, the amount of credit that should be given in that situation is endless. That's why when these people come out now and they talk about Turning Point is this, I can't hate on Turning Point. I got mad love. I'm going to have love. If it wasn't for Turning Point, I wouldn't have gotten the White House. When they come out talking about Charlie, the same thing. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gotten the White House. Candace, I wouldn't have gotten the White House. Brandon Tatum, David Harris. All these people, bro, I can't hate on these people. But one, because you're giving fraud hate. It's fake and you're jealous. Two, because you have to have some honor in those that have blessed you, bro. And the only people that don't have honor and people that bless you are people that are product of the slave mentality of dog eat dog. Man. And I'm just going to continue to cut every Black man I see, even if he helped me. And I can't be a part of that.
No, you can't be a part of that. No, you better not be a part of that. I mean, you won't be a part of that. Dude, you making so much sense. Dang it. Oh man. I wanna start doing a thing, man, on my page too, because I got a lot of followers. I want to work with you.
and try to get like, maybe we do something like once a week or once every 2 weeks where we just have like some sort of common sense sit down where we do like a no holds barred. We could talk about everything from the cleanest cut stuff to the just most grimy hood stuff, you know, like to where everybody can get a taste of what they want. They can ask questions, do whatever they want, and it be no holds barred. My thing that I like about you and your platform is it reminds me of myself in the fact of,
you remember myself when I hear you talk.
Yeah, it reminds me of myself, like, because the one reason I don't deal with a lot of establishment people, even though I got love for them, is because I need them to embrace reality. And the reality is, if I cuss, or the reality is, if I let a curse word slip out, or if somebody has, you know, something on me being a sinner, oh, you're a sinner, blah, blah. People have to understand that's what Trump is. That is how Trump won, by being real.
Real.
It's too often that we can't have
on
the thing being real. Everybody wants to be fake. They want to be like, okay, well, do you think that's good for you to do, Derrick? Do you think that's good for you to market? Do you think it's great? Do y'all not understand our president is on a tour bus saying grab them by the whatever, and America is having it and showing love?
Real talk.
This is what we have to understand. Stop being scared and start being real. What was that? I don't know if you ever watched The Real World. I think they used to say stop being polite and start being real on the beginning of The Real World, the TV show. And that's what I'm on right now. I'm on some stop being polite and start being real, 100%. And I've learned all this from President Trump. He's given us the avenue to make this happen. He's given us the avenue to start being real on a whole nother tangent, to where we're back in the days of the founding fathers. Yes. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it 100%. I wouldn't have it any other way. People have to understand all this snowflake business. Look, man. People don't understand. Alexander Hamilton is on your $10 bill. Alexander Hamilton is on your $10 bill right now. Take out a $10 bill. Look who's on the front of it. Alexander Hamilton, okay? He died in a duel. Like, he's part of Congress, bro. Like, he had a duel. Like a gentleman's duel.
Hey, I got a question for you in a minute. Question for you.
Huh?
Go ahead. I got a question for you in 1 minute. Go ahead.
Listen, he died in a gentleman's duel. Y'all are talking this snowflake business. Y'all are talking about, I can't really do this because, you know, I'm a vegan. Like, bro, dudes are having duels in Congress. That's what we come from. This country comes from gun duels in Congress in a gentleman's fashion. So all this stuff that y'all are talking about with the, oh, well, this is wrong and that's wrong and we can't have this and we can't have straws in California. We can't have plastic. We can't have straws anymore. We can't have straws. Nah, bro. This country is going back to its fabric. And the fabric is basically generals, America first, freedom from any monarch and all those monarch thoughts. We need our banking system back. We want to back our own money again. We want to get rid of the Federal Reserve. We want to do everything possible to have limited government and maximum land and love for the people.
Love for the people. Love for the people. The people.
What was your question, though?
No, there's a question I'm asking because this is very controversial. I had my opinion about this about 2-3 weeks ago. What's your opinion about the Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill? First of all, I think it's BS. I think it's to make black people more stuck. That's my opinion.
So listen to this. So here's my problem. And again, remember when we talk about common sense.
Yes.
I'll catch somebody in a catch-22 in a minute, okay? My first question is, why is Harriet Tubman always frowning? Like, this is the thing. I don't want you on my $20 bill if you're frowning, bro. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, I don't give a damn if it's Stacey Dash. She better be smiling. She better be smiling on the $20 bill. Like, the thing is, I think they're doing this on purpose. Why do you want to put a woman on look, like, why is Benjamin Franklin dressed up? Why is George Washington dressed up?
Nigga, putting that turn on a $20 bill. I'll take that.
No, listen. Why are all these men dressed up? But then y'all want to say we doing y'all a favor by putting this woman dressed like Aunt Jemima with a do-rag on and then frowning on the 20. To me, that sounds like you trying to like low-key dissing a little bit. Like you low-key trying to diss. One. Two, here's my problem. A lot of people don't know this, but Britain,
hold on,
after we got our independence, look, who is this? Likewise Media. There's nothing to smile about. Listen, first of all,
you said you dumb nigga, I'm a dumb nigga.
First of all, look.
I love you, dude. You funny.
Look. First of all, why does he want Harriet? Okay, this is my thing. Listen. I'll tell whoever that is, Likewise Media.
Yeah.
No, with no face. He got no face on there.
No, he's on my panel a lot. He's on
your panel. Okay.
He's always a guest. Let
me tell him like this. Why don't they focus more? Let me ask you a question. If they focus more on giving black folks $20 bills and who is actually on the 20, we might actually be somewhere. But it's actually ignorant Negroes like this that want social currency instead of actual currency. I want you to listen to me. Watch what I'm saying. Watch where I'm going with this. When you put Harriet Tubman on the 20, that's called social currency. It's not actual currency. So black folks like him who have nothing, they could walk up and be like, I'm on the 20, but he don't have no 20s.
Thank you.
So what I'm saying is, if in life, what you want to do is you want to focus on telling these people, why don't you focus on giving black people 20s instead of who's on the front of a 20? But they won't do that because you know how black folks, you know how these liberal white people pay you? They say, hey, look, Likewise Media, we can't give you no real money, but what we could do is we could put a black chick on a 20. Now bounce and be happy. And he gonna be happy because that's a slave mentality, bro. That's a slave mentality. So you have to sit here and say, do you think I care about who's on the 20 if I got 1,000,000 20s? Like I'm sitting here saying, what's more important to you, having 1,000,000 20s or who's on the front of it? If you say who's on the front of it, then you need to go right back to the slave camp, bro, because you're living in a social currency world. Now, aside from that, listen, Andrew Jackson destroyed the second bank of England, bro. Okay. So at the end of the day, when England decided that they couldn't take America over, they said, we know we'll control their banking system. So that's why Andrew Jackson is really on the 20. He destroyed the site. I've been to his grave, and on his grave it says, I destroyed the big bank. Like this dude was serious business when it came to bank. Now this is my thing, because a lot of Black America will tell you the same thing. And I love talking about this with Black America. They say, I'm not singing the national anthem. It's not my country. There's nothing to be happy about. What do you mean make America great? All these symbols of badness, let's get rid of them. You know the first thing I'll tell Black America? All these statues, all this stuff you want to get rid of? Mm-hmm. Why don't you give me all your money? Well, what do you mean, why don't you give me all your money? Give me all your money. Let's go to the bank and take out all your money. Well, why? Because George Washington's on the front of it and he had slaves. Because Andrew Jackson's on the front and he had slaves. Right. So give me all your ones and your 20s right now. But I bet you they won't do it. Because at the end of the day, people are not keeping the same energy. They're just doing stuff to talk, bro. Like people are talking to talk. But if they carried that common sense all the way through, then they would have to leave this country in order to do what they're saying they need to do. And nobody's going to leave. If you're that offended by a statue, if you that offended by this, you damn sure need to give me your $1 bills with George Washington.
Speak on it, man. You better speak on it.
You damn sure need to give me your 20s too. Because Jackson's on it. So give me all your money because you so offended. They won't do it because they're not keeping the same energy. It's all fraud.
It's all. Man.
So see if True says, what about the brother on the $2 bill? He was actually a president before George Washington. That's I think he's talking about that whole strange thing with the brother on the back of the $2 bill. But here's the thing. People talking about all these Black presidents before, like weird conspiracy theories. Here's the funny part about that. We always celebrate 1776, even though we never really got our independence till 1783, which is a trip. We had a war. So during the war, we declared our independence in 1776, but you don't get it until you actually win the war. Like, so
right.
the war till 1783. So for me, like I said, black folks in general were a big part of this war. A lot of people don't know this, but you could do the research. Black folks voted for George Washington. Did you know that? Free black folks voted for George Washington. I can send you the links.
And send me the link because I want to talk about this more. Send me the link.
I will send you the links. Black folks
I know about this.
voted for George Washington. Voting rights were taken away later, but in that first election, they voted for George Washington. We have to, it's just deep, bro. Like a lot of people talking about, well, there was nothing to smile about. There was nothing to be happy about during slavery. People have to understand more black folks in New Orleans own slaves than whites. Stop making it like it's, oh my God, the white man's sin, the white man's burden, the white man's this. Here's my question to you. Let me ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
If you're 14,
okay,
and your parent sells you to a pedophile or somebody who's a sex addict, and that man abuses you for 5 years and goes to jail.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want you to imagine yourself as a 40-year-old man after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you see the pedophile man and you see your parents. Who did the more disloyal thing to you?
My mama.
Your mama did. So why in the hell are black people blaming white people when they should be blaming them Nigerians in Africa? They should be blaming the parents of they hired the parents, but they not. They sitting here blaming white people for no reason. White folks are just, they're the beneficiaries of what the parents did. They should be going back. And at the end of the day, I told somebody this the other day. I don't want to hear a black person talk about reparations unless he's talking about asking President Trump to go to Nigeria and the Congo and fleece them for their you want reparations? Get it from Nigeria, get it from the Congo, get it from wherever in those black countries that sold the black people, period. I don't know why you can't. Let's go mine some gold. Let's go to Sierra Leone and take some diamonds. Why not? Because at the end of the day, for me, that's who really did. That's who really did the disservice, because you sold me to a criminal, but you are my blood. So you really are the fraud when I need to address. So why are you addressing white people at all? You should be addressing, where's these Nigerians at? I want to talk to the black coalition that's still over there. I want to, all these, you know, they still got these brothers in Africa walking around with all this gold and stuff. Yeah, we need to talk. we need to chat.
Yeah, right.
You know, we need to have a little meeting.
Yeah. Thick skin on you, everybody. Hashtag thick skin on y'all.
Hey, look.
Unsubscribe if you don't, if you too triggered, unsubscribe. Okay.
Yeah, no, man. And like I said, everybody doesn't have to agree with everything. Everybody has to agree with everything. We're not talking about agreeing. We doing a lot of talking right now and a lot of fishing. And if some of it motivates you, that's good. If some of it doesn't motivate you, oh well. You're not supposed to agree with everything. But a lot of people get motivated when you have these type of conversations, because all they hear all day long is the white man screwed me. Like the white man hates me. The white man is going to kill me. But at the end of the day, I've asked people a million times.
Right.
I've asked people, have you ever shaken a hand? And I tell people this all the time. How many have you ever shaken the hand of somebody who's been killed by a cop? And I ask people, have you ever shaken the hand of somebody who's been killed by a black man? Or are you shaking the hand of somebody who knows somebody who's been killed by a black man?
Come on.
It's usually 30 times as many people if you count.
Yes.
And so at the end of the day, you're continuing to tell me to be worried about cops. You're continuing to tell me to be worried about traffic stops, when at the end of the day, traffic stop ain't killed Nipsey Hussle. That was the homie. That was the homie.
The homie.
Yeah, the homie.
The ninja.
Yeah, that was the homie. So we have to sit here and we have to address what's really going on, or else it's going to continue to happen. You have to sit here and say, we need to police our own hoods. We need to get the haters out of here. We need to reform these haters. We need to get them counseling so they ain't hate as much. We need to do something, because if y'all continuing to look at cops, we're going to continue to have 50 shootings in Chicago every weekend because y'all ain't looking at the right situation.
That's my hometown, Chicago, because I seen Chicago have collapsed. I seen Chicago collapse 20 years ago. I predicted this.
When Tupac was alive, he said the same thing. Listen, he's talking like we talking, right? So check this out. What I want you to imagine is somebody like a ghost popping up on this, the third person, right? And he's saying, you know what, Mo and Derrick, y'all doing a whole lot of talking. But what's the solution? Y'all doing all this talking.
Yeah.
And you know what Tupac said? It was funny because he was doing this, but he had so many viewers on his video.
Yeah, right.
He said this. He said, look, man, I don't know how to clean it up. He said, I'll be honest with you, it was so deep. He said, I don't know how to clean it up. He said, but you know what? If I keep talking about it on camera, somebody's going to clean it up. And
somebody.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. We may not know how to clean it up, but I guarantee you, if you keep exposing this into the media and the mainstream, somebody is going to find a way to clean it up. And so that's what I'm talking about right now, because people will ask me all the time. They'll ask me all the time. They'll be like, why you always bring this up? Because I may have 5,000 people listening to this. I may have 75,000 in 3 weeks. I may be on a viral video. Like, for instance, the viral video I was on with the girl, the one we talked about earlier with the bald-headed girl in LA.
I saw that. I shared that video on my public figure page.
Yeah, look, the viral video I was on with her. I was talking to, let me give you the background. I was talking to 3 black girls who were yelling at me for being a Trump supporter, but then I broke down why I was. By the time I got to the end of it and explained how Barack Obama did absolutely nothing for black people, yet he passed laws for gays and illegals, and every black man ain't gay. Every black man ain't illegal. And how I told them what President Trump was doing with prison reform, they were listening.
Right.
While they were listening, that girl jumped in the middle like a demon because she saw the black women listening. I want you to peep where this is going, bro. This Caucasian liberal skinhead jumped in between me and the black girls because the black girls were listening to me. Do you peep that? Like the Caucasian liberals, like, you can't have them. It was almost.
You was with Ben, right? Ben?
Huh?
You was with Ben, right, in that video?
Yes.
Ben, that's my dude. I love Ben. We did come live stream together. Ben.
Yeah, man.
I'm a dude, Ben.
No, man, we was there, and like that girl jumped in, and she jumped in, and I had to weed her off and pray her off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but for me, I look at these situations and I say, hey, we got to do what we got to do as a people.
Yes.
We have to continue to push forward. We have to continue to push forward as influencers, and we have to do our part. And everything we talked about tonight has been golden. I want us to go out here and protect these influencers, man. I want to go out here and protect these influencers. Have you heard anything about this 4th of July thing going on in D.C.? I've been hearing.
I got to work. They put me on a program, but I can't be there.
Who's doing this? Like, and we're.
No, it was somebody from when I was down up in D.C. about a couple months ago.
Okay.
Put it again. He put me on schedule. I'm like, dude, why you put me on schedule? I got to work, dude.
I'm gonna try to go. I mean, I need some more info on it, so
yeah,
I'm gonna try to go because I think that'll be kind of lit. I was hoping the president, I was thinking the president might try to do some sort of military, like he might try to drop a tank on Pennsylvania Avenue just to troll people.
Man, our president, man. Look, that's a super troll. Like I am. I'm a super troll too. Don't get it twisted. Knuckle. Okay.
No, he's the bomb, man. And let me tell you something. Like what I was telling you about years from now, people will understand the time they were living in. Years from now, bro, it's gonna be crazy. Like, because people will look back at this dude. They're already looking at him as a legend. Yep. So imagine 20 years from now when they look back with the regal eyes. He's gonna be like insane legend, bro. Like, right?
People is not going to suffer with Trump the Reigner syndrome because Trump ain't got nothing to do with their times.
Nah, people are gonna do what they want to do.
They're gonna do what they want to do. You know, I'm just saying. Like I said, the word I use is Trump trigger. Like Nyla. Look, I follow her. She's a YouTuber, and she's not even a Trump supporter, but we respect each other, and she has a lot of points when she says Trump trigger people.
No, man, I look, it's gonna be crazy. This next 18 months is gonna be probably the most lit 18 months in the last, I'm going to say in the last 100 years.
Thank
and we weren't alive, but I'm telling you, this next 18 months is going to be so lit, because what's going to happen is there's going to be new black movements that no one's ever seen before, because the gates are wide open. Trump has opened the gates and what they're doing is they're trying to convince black people that these gates aren't open. They're doing their best. They're like, come on, man, just say everything. Stop them. Like, and if it wasn't for us, like, that word wouldn't be out. But it's going to be some of us doing it. It's going to be Brandon, Candace, me, other people opening these gates, doing these crazy things.
Yes.
And so people are going to be like, dog, well, how are these black folks doing this right now? And it's going to be on top of that. Plus the Trump train is going to be moving. Plus you're going to have an Hispanic movement that's already started that's going nuts. With, like, whether it's Latinos for Trump or Bienvenidos, you're going to have the Hispanic movement blowing up.
Yes.
And so it's just going to be this hyper Americana movement in the next 18 months. And I can't
believe it or not, y'all, don't think of we getting black conservatives with each other. We're going to greet each other 100%, right? Like my friend I put on here on my live feed. She's a conservative. She's a Trump supporter, but she believes in reparations. But that's her opinion. She
right.
It. And I said, come on my platform and talk about it. She talks about reparations. That's how you talk. And I respect her. I don't even argue with her. I let her talk. That's how you feel. Man. I want
to let's do that. Let's do that soon. Let's do that soon. I want to be on the next talk. Let's talk reparations. Have me on.
Okay. Look, put on that. Look, y'all talk.
The next talk. Have me on.
She's passionate.
Have me on there.
She in LA. She's about the Mexicans, and
check this out. Check this out. Did you see my video? For those on the page? There was a little girl in Houston. They found dead. Like, it was a big story. Her name was Malia. The stepdad killed her or something. They found her in Arkansas, her body. He had lied or something.
Yeah.
So I went to her place. They having a balloon thing. And I have it on my Instagram right now. Derrick Gradenigo. You can go check it out. I caught up with Sheila Jackson Lee, the congresswoman. Sheila Jackson Lee, famous congresswoman. I don't know if you saw that video. Go back to my Instagram and check it out. I caught up with her, and I was real cordial. I was real whatever. But then I started hitting her with the tough ones.
Yeah, you did.
And she didn't want to answer. I told her. I said, "Look, Miss Jackson,
come back to me."
Yeah, I said, "Miss Jackson, listen. Black folks in Oakland, on the West Coast, and on the South, and all over America are real upset because they keep hearing you talking about putting the legals before black folks, and a lot of black Americans been here for 250 years plus." So how can you convince them of putting these illegals? And she was like, well, what about my reparations bill? It's like, bruh, this is what I want to talk to your friend. I'll just do a little bit right now, but here's the thing. This reparations package that they're trying to put together for Congress is all phony. It's fake. It's like if I tell you right now, hey, bro, I want to give you a Lamborghini with a $300 million house. It just has to pass through Congress. The thing is this. You could get hype about that, but that's social currency. You're getting hype off of what I'm saying, but it's never going to happen because it's impossible. What she's doing is she's telling you she's putting a reparations bill, but no one can tell who could get paid right now. Everybody's mixed. You can't tell who's what part black, who's this. By the time they research the genealogy, we'll all be 5,000 years old. Like, there's no way to do it. So what I will say to your friend is that if she were serious, she would do something more tangible. And the idea I had that was more tangible was, if you want to sue the government, what you would say is, I want to file a class action against America for the way blacks were treated from 1920 to 1968, the passing of the Civil Rights Bill. That includes the lynching of Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, and all these other people. Do you know why? Because those people are still alive, including maybe some of your grandparents or whatever. They can testify in court. They could testify, and it's actually tangible. But guess what? They'll never do that. You know why? Because it'll work. Because you actually have people. So now they want you to do this whole, let's do this reparations on slavery. Okay, well, who could testify to that? Some dude that was, what are they going to do? Have a seance and bring him back from life from 300 years ago? No, they're doing that on purpose because they know it won't work.
All that stuff gonna do is turn you to an angry black woman. I'm gonna say it like that. Next.
Right.
Tell you get angry. You stop being angry. You know what? Let's not focus on reparations. Let's focus on real stuff. I get your point on reparations. I do. I do. Not say I don't understand you. I do understand you. I said in the video today, I said this, if they said black people get reparation, I'm not going to protest against it. I said, you know what? Bring my checks coming. I'll take the reparation money. I said it like that. I said, but ain't no reparation. But if it is, I'm not going to complain if we have it. Right. I'll take that money and turn the black community around. So bring it. I hope we do get reparations. Because maybe stuff will change.
But here's the look again. If the whole reparations idea kind of doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. But I was saying,
let me tell you, it doesn't make sense because you won't know who's mixed with what. And I guarantee you, 80% of people in America probably have some sort of black in them regardless. So even the white folks who are racist probably have some black somewhere back in their great-great-grandparents. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost impossible to do the lineage to pass out these checks. So again, black folks have to stop being in love with the social currency and start being in love with reality and say, what can we actually prove? And
You're right on that.
Because right now, guess what? If I could prove that the government did something to my family, I'm gonna get $1 million payout. If I could do that right now, like if somebody was like, oh, like Seth Rich from the DNC or whatever, if he got shot, if they could prove it, they get $1 million payout, or they get hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages, right?
Yeah.
I believe the same thing. Like I said, unreparations, but I believe the same thing should be. If your granddaddy was hung, bro, if your granddaddy was hung in Alabama and George Wallace was the governor and foresaw that and overseen that, you should get a check right now. So like I said, I'm not for reparations because I think it's not doable. It's fake. It's a fraud. It's what they call a straw man. It's like something that looks good, but it'll never get done. But if I can prove that your great granddaddy was hanging on one of these pictures in our history book,
right, it's no proof.
What I'm saying, if I could prove if that's there, or your granddad could testify he was at the hanging, I believe that should be a court case. That to me, I'm cool with that because at the end of the day, they deserve some sort of damages. So if you're like I don't know how old your parents are or whatever, but most people, there's a lot of people alive now that were alive between 1920 and 1968. A whole lot of people alive. A whole lot of people that could sit here and say, yeah, I saw somebody get hung. My brother got hung. A whole lot of people that say my uncle got hung and I was there. I was 6 years old. I watched it. If that can happen and they can testify and prove it, yeah, they deserve something because right now people are getting checks. If you spill McDonald's on your foot, you get a check. If I spill that coffee, remember the lady spilled the coffee at McDonald's and they gave her a check and now they have to put caution on the cup. Now they have to put caution hot contents. It's the same concept. If you get done wrong, then I believe you deserve some sort of compensation. The problem is with slavery, no one now can prove anything because you don't know if you're related to the master or the slave. Because there's more black slave owners in New Orleans than white. There's more masters in Africa that sold the slaves. So you don't really know who you're related to, one. And if you are, here's the thing, if you are related to some slaves, guess what? Chances are that you're related to some masters too. Because those slaves procreated with the masters, and those are the people who survived.
My family wasn't owned by slaves. My ancestors weren't owned by slaves. I got history on all that.
Right.
We were. That's why I don't have the victim mentality. Oh, thank God. Stop holding to the past.
Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. Well, look, man. I hate to go. We've been at it for a while. I want to start getting on a thing with you maybe once a week, man, where we do once a week and we can kind of build something up. And
you know what? I'm gonna text you my number. I'm gonna give you my phone number.
Okay. Let's do that, man, and then let's
do this, man.
Let's do this because we need to build this up. We need to build this up to where do you look? You're in Chicago right now?
No, I'm 2 hours. I'm an hour and a half in Chicago. I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin now.
Oh, you're in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm still close.
they got going in Milwaukee, man? I don't never hear about.
Oh, I'm about 3 miles from the convention for next year. I'm gonna light that up next year.
Oh, okay.
I would be crazy. Look, I'm going in there undercover. They probably won't let me in, but I'm gonna go in there with a feel the burn stuff, whatever. I'm walk in like this. Feel the burn. I'm live, everybody. Feel the burn.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna go in there with some stuff on.
That's dope. I like it.
Look. I'm gonna have my feel the burn and we are stronger, whatever slogan they have. I'm gonna order on Amazon and I'm gonna walk in there with my phone. Then as soon as Hillary anybody speak, I'm gonna come out with my MAGA hat and say, "You murdering bitch!" I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna cuss her out. I'm gonna call her murdering bitch.
Look, you're gonna go viral. You're gonna go viral.
That's what I'm gonna do. Oh, I'm telling myself. They gonna like,
yeah, they're gonna show the tape. They're gonna show the tape. No, let's start doing this weekly, man, and try to get something popping. And we're gonna push these movements together because this is what I'm pushing for. What I'm pushing for now is you got a lot of people out here, even in our world, even though we're close and we know each other, when we see each other, we recognize each other. The movements aren't together. So right now, I want to get like on some Avengers Endgame type stuff to where we all kind of congruently meet. And like I told you earlier, a lot of the stuff that's preventing that from happening, there's a lot of middle people that are trying to start beef on the right. Like they're trying to start beef on the people in the right. Like kind of like that's why when you talk to me, I know everybody. Like I know everybody, and I promise you, every single person I know, there has been somebody that has tried to turn me against them, whether it's Candace, Charlie, Rob Smith, Brandon Tatum, everybody that I know, somebody at some point has come to me and tried to turn me against those people. And I'm like, I'm not turning on Candace. I'm not turning on Charlie. I'm not turning on Tony X. I'm not turning on Rob Smith. Like, it's not going to happen. But there's been outside people who say, you shouldn't be hanging with them. You shouldn't be hanging with them because I heard this, I heard that. And my thing is this, man. At the end of the day, I don't give a damn what you heard. All I care about is results. And the results are when we all put this thing together and we get this Hogwarts train together so we can just go ahead and get our Harry Potter on and just take over, the whole thing. Because right now, I saw a glimpse of that at YBLS in October because we all were there and a lot of people didn't know each other. We all were there. There was a glimpse of greatness there. And then everybody separated again. So what we need to do is bring everybody together and create another like Avengers Assemble, but a real one where we just all push a movement. You can still have your own personality, but we all on the same railroad tracks pushing toward 2020. And that I'm very happy to hear that you squashed your beef because I'm trying to look, man. This is the thing. If it takes me being the beef squasher for everybody and trying to recruit you to help me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to have none of this. Whoever got beef with whoever, I'm not hearing you, bro. Look, if you have beef and you're like, oh, I don't like Candace because I don't like this. I don't like the URC. I don't like whatever. I'm not listening to none of y'all, bro. Like, you're speaking a raw language to me. Like, if you, I don't like Maurice because of this. I'm not listening to you, bro. Like, at the end of the day, I have no beef, no enemies. My only enemy is the left-wing Democrats that are trying to kill America. Why are I have no beef, bro. None.
No beef. None whatsoever. You dig? Hey, this was a wonderful panel tonight.
Yeah.
It's glad to have you on here, man. I appreciate you from bottom of my heart. Come on here, man. You have lifted this channel up tonight.
Yes, thank you, man. Thank you. So let's keep it going, man. Let's try to get up once a week. And I'm gonna get out of here. I'm currently in Florida right now, so I'm gonna go do my Florida thing.
Stay on for like a minute, man. I'm gonna start the broadcast and I'm gonna talk to you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for coming on here, man. Much love, y'all. Hey, New World Order. Thank you for the super chat for the donation. Thank you for donation. Every little bit helps. I appreciate the donation. Okay. Much love. So I'm gone, y'all. Man, hey, thank you, bro, for coming on here. And we're gonna do this again. All right.
Yes,
we out
sir.
here.
Yes, sir. Peace, y'all. Peace.
Peace.